Hi kids, Mama Bear here. Bears, monkeys, pumpkins, all of you. As always, I'm making these videos for my girls, but we're so happy to have you join us. We are Love Alive Yo. We are here to spread unconditional love and kindness so that we can feel comfortable, safe, and joy. Because that's what we strive for. We want God's peace that surpasses all understanding, and we do that by spreading the unconditional love and kindness that we're called to do. I find in life, it's not always easy to spread joy and kindness, and so today I kind of want to talk to you, Izzy, specifically because you don't know my story the way your sissy does. She kind of lived it with us, so I want to leave this for you in case God calls me home early, or just some point you stumble across these and you get to know a little bit more about your mom. I was thinking today that I would tell you, baby girl, my first stages of becoming a mom. Now, as I've been home during this pandemic, I've really got to spend a lot of time growing and healing. And I'm learning a lot about myself. And so when I started to think about how I want to grow further, I needed to go backwards and look where I came from and redevelop the foundation that I stand on. Because I didn't come from unconditional love. I didn't come from unconditional kindness. I didn't feel comfortable most of my life. I didn't feel safe until, I don't know, now. And joy radiates out of me because I'm Key Mama and I'm exactly where God needs me to be right now in life. And it's taken me 40 years to get to this moment. So I want to do everything in my power, sweet ones, to help you achieve this way before I did. So listen closely, Izzy, Cassie, and you, to the stories I'm going to tell you. And listen to the character development I had. Listen to the areas where I struggled and thought I was going to lose hope and give up and quit. And then how I turned out to live my best life. Because that's what it's all about. I'm just going to do a ADHD moment and just dive into what's on my heart. And we'll get back to in the beginning when I was first born. I want to talk today about Dayton. Dayton is my nephew. The first time I met Dayton, he was 6 weeks old, and my sister and his father showed up at my house unexpected after years of not speaking to me, and they came holding this precious child. Now, there was a lot of mean and unkind things that were done and said up to this point about this baby arriving way too early in life, and that's what happened. Your mom was 16, and that's the toughest path I think I've ever seen anyone walk, being a mom so young. And so I really want to make sure you guys listen to my words, because it's not easy to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom at 17. I was ready. I knew in my soul at 5 years old, I was going to be a mom one day. It didn't happen for me until 38 years old. That's the day I found out I was pregnant, the day after Mother's Day. 5/13/2019. 18. 19. I think. Anyways. So Dayton came into my life, and he was the most perfect, the tiniest little human, and the most perfect one I'd ever held. My love and joy and unconditional love radiated that day. Something inside of my heart, he was a key that twisted and just let a little bit of love come out. And then I got to be his aunt, and at times, his mom called me his other mom. Probably overstepped a few boundaries, but there was a lot of reasons why. And so it's all divine now, I know, but during that time period, it was really scary. You see, at 16, you're not quite ready. You're not quite as mature as you are at 40. So you don't necessarily know how to raise a child the way you would if you had more years of experience. And so I watched you, Dayton, turn into the rock in your family. You were the foundation of strength and focus. You were kind of God's hand, like, hey, whoop, love, it's over here. Whoop, keep looking at love. Whoop, don't stop looking at unconditional love. It made it really easy. Some of my first memories is a photo shoot that we went to. I believe we were at Sears or Penny's, or I don't recall exactly, but we were in their photo department, and they did a little bathtub pose and a little basket, and it was the cutest thing I'd ever experienced. I fell so in love with photography that day. I already had a passion for it, but just watching you come to life in those photos was so beautiful. And now those are the memories of those beautiful moments that we shared together. I remember we had this cheesy little bucket and you'd put it on your head and you'd run around. I remember that you had this really cute towel that was a dinosaur and you loved to roar every time you put it on. It was the cutest freaking thing in the world. I loved bath time. I would always tell you to not splash, you and your brothers. Don't splash, don't get water out of the tub. And by the time the bath was done, I'd be drenched and there'd be water all over the floor and we were all laughing hysterically. You lived with me many times throughout your childhood, and I got to be right there to see you grow and to watch you do some of your first things. I was the first person probably who took a straight punch to the face with a black or fat bloody lip. Hey, thank you. Still loved you unconditional. Yes, I did. I tease you that you got one coming. So if you ever step out of line one day and I need to love bat smack you, I would never hit you. That's what unconditional love is. I remember early on I knew how much of a rock you were, and I used to brag and boast to people about how if you were in a room full of children and no adults, like say McDonald's Playland, gross, for example, or Chuck E. Cheese. I think about coronavirus, that's why I say gross, but and all the kids are playing together and then all the adults are on the outside. I always pictured one kid always seems to get hurt in this scenario, and you would be the child that would go comfort that kid that was crying and got hurt. You would be the kid to stop playing and go over there and then return them to their mom in the most sweet and tender way. And I always admired your heart. I always adored you. I remember when you lived with us and I would wake up in the morning to put you on the bus. I remember sometimes we would oversleep because we weren't always the most responsible, and you'd have to run out the door real quick while the bus was outside honking. Oh, I remember so many beautiful moments of playing in the pool with you and getting hotel rooms just so that we could, when we would come visit, we would drive 6 hours to the bottom of Ohio to come visit you. So many times we did that. A 12-hour round trip just to come see you, just to come give you a bath, just to come play with your little toys with you, just because you brought so much unconditional love and joy that any opportunity to be near you was beautiful. You were the first person, you were a toddler and you leaked through your diaper and I had you sitting on my hip. You came to visit me at work with grandma and maybe your mom, I'm not sure. And when I pulled you away, my whole side was drenched in urine and I had to go back to work and work that way. Unconditional love. I never made you feel bad. I would never ask you to feel shame, blame, or guilt. I think it's adorable, and you're the first person to ever pee on me, and I still love you. So, Izzy, you're in good company. Don't worry. Cassie, you never got to pee on me, but I met you later on in life, so I'd be honored if you really needed to. Please don't pee on me. Anyways, I remember driving an hour, Dayton Tyler, to Battle Creek every other weekend to come pick you up when you were at Aunt Lala, I think is what you called her. I don't remember her name. When you were at your dad's, and I would come get you with Grandma. We would have so much fun singing and driving, and we would bring you home for the weekend, and you'd go riding on the pony, and you would play in the pool. You were so brave. You loved the pool so much. Grandma had a different pool than she does now, but I remember you jumped off the deck and into the pool while I was standing there trying to get everything ready, and I was so blown away I didn't know what to do that I just jumped in after you, and as you came back up in the water, I just lifted you right out of the pool, and you were cracking up laughing. You just loved the water so much. It terrified me. I thought, oh my gosh, this kid is trying to drown himself. Let's get life vest on him now. So, Izzy, no jumping into the pool when mommy's not looking. But I was looking. I mean, I just, yeah, was getting everything together. You love the pool, though. We stayed at so many hotels, and we'd always get one with a pool so that you, and then when your brothers came along, we could all stay together. We took you to Traverse City, to Great Wolf Lodge. Oh my gosh, you loved that so much. That's why I got punched in the face, because you did not want to stop playing and you really needed a nap. I think I convinced you to eat Cheetos when we got back to the room. I don't know. I was so upset. But you would jump on the leap pad to leap pad, and you went up this, oh my gosh, to get away from me because you did not want to take a nap. I don't know if you remember this, but you did. You hopped on the leap pads because I couldn't go in there, and you jumped from 1 to 1, and then you took off running all the way to the top of this tower where you were trying to go down the water slide, and there was a big huge long line, and you shoved your way past everybody, and you jumped on the slide to go down it, and the lady that was watching the slide grabbed you and was like, whose child is this? At the same time that I was right there, and I was like, thanks, I'll take him now. And you hit me in the face before you ran to those leap pads. You were like, oh no, Aunt Sarah's gonna kill me. I'm gone. You were definitely my nephew. That made me laugh so much. You guys, all three of you, Austin and Colton, like, you saved my life. You don't even know. I had so much heaviness around me. You guys were my light. You're the reason that I am here on this planet today, and I will give credit where credit's due, because all I've ever wanted was to give unconditional love. My love is pure. I have no alternative motives. I'm not trying to pretend to be nice to you so I can steal your money. I'm not pretending to be nice to you so I can come up and be better because of stepping on your head. That's not me. It's just pure love, the way God's called us to love. And so when people would make fun outside of that scenario, such as, yeah, we used to be mean to you on purpose, haha, and make fun of you when you weren't there. Well, you know, that's your loss, because unconditional love is rare on this planet. It's more rare than gold. It's more rare than anything you can purchase from Amazon or anywhere for that matter. Unconditional love is something that just is, and once you burn that bridge and you can't come back because of the guilt, shame, and blame you harbor, I sleep okay at night. I was never unkind to you. I was never malicious to you. I have never been that way to anybody. And I'm not talking to you specifically, anybody, just you in general, whoever is watching this and it's touching your heart. I know that I'm a good person with a good heart, and it's taken me 40 years to figure that out. And this year at my birthday, I claimed that I will never put myself in a situation with someone who don't value my heart, because I know its worth. I know the worth of unconditional love because I've fought for it my whole life. And Izzy baby, Cassie baby, it wasn't until I met your daddy that I found it. It wasn't that I met your daddy and he whispered into my ear that my only job was to just breathe, that I learned how to just breathe and enjoy my best life. Unconditional love is what saved my life. I went through so much darkness and pain. I struggled so hard. I remember sitting on my bedroom floor with a bottle of Jack. The door's shut, nobody there, it's just me. I wasn't trying to get attention because that's not what I needed to seek. I just wanted love and nobody understood that. I couldn't feel anything but misunderstood. And I was contemplating ending everything. But I visualized all of the moments I'd miss out on. I visualized missing out on you boys graduating. I visualized missing out on your weddings and watching you have children. I didn't even know I was gonna have my own. So you saved my life. I have nothing but gratitude in my heart for you, Dayton, Austin, Colton. You helped shape me into the first parts of stagehoods of being a mom. I got to love you unconditional. I have beautiful moments, memories of you sitting on my lap in the rocking chair and me reading stories to you. I have memories of us being together for days and panicking and trying to find daycare for you because of situations that were out of my control, and driving an hour to take you to daycare, to drive another hour to go to work, and doing that every day for weeks on end because I wanted to be with you and I would have done anything for you. I remember getting a phone call, Colton, when you and Austin were playing and split your head open. And I dropped everything and was there in 5 minutes to take you to the ER. Where then I continued to tease you about having a crack on your head and you being a butthead, just so that you would giggle because I knew you were in pain and you were suffering and I didn't want you to be sad. So I teased and you giggled and laughed, and then I kissed and teased and tickled and helped you not feel sad. Because that's unconditional love. I know I said I was going to keep this about Dayton, but Austin, it just popped in my head. You crack me up. You were 6 years old sitting in front of the TV and we were watching Jackass. In your apartment, up a million stairs, if you remember that place. And they were doing some stunt, and I remember you going, "Psh, those guys are, what did you say? Those guys are pussies. I could do that." I remember laughing so hard, like, oh, our little Evel Knievel. You're so strong, you're so independent, you always have been. You're fierce, red hair, fiery fighting spirit, little Aries, adorableness. And Colton, you were my love. You loved, I think you told me once you're like a sloth. You like sleep. And you used to love to sleep. I would come spend numerous nights at your house and I would sleep in your tiny twin bed with Uncle Brian just so we could be there with you. And every morning I stayed with you, I'd wake up with at least one of you in bed with us. You'd come in to give us snuggles. And it was the most precious thing. The most precious thing. I remember when your mom got married, they did those little Mad Libs and we had to put our little picture in the thing, and so I drew an ant, like an ant you'd find out on a plant outside, and I made it all different cool colors, and I was like, yeah, because I'm the cool ant. So I don't know what your memories are of me, but I really hope you remember me as being so much fun, because I took you for your pictures with grandma, without grandma. So you'd have pictures of your childhood, and I made sure you got to see Colton, Kanan, oh my gosh, I can't even talk, Kelton. when I was in Hastings, I let him come over and you guys would sled together, and I would always try to do what your mom tried to do to make sure you had a childhood with your brother. And I always tried to support and encourage that, and anything for that matter, because I wanted you to live your best life. And I pray, since we don't get to see each other that often, that you always live your best life. I want nothing but the best for you, because every day for as long as I'm here on this planet, I will wish you well. I will pray for you to be happy, to be filled with joy, to be comfortable and safe no matter what you're doing or where you are. I'm so honored to be jacked in the jaw by you. Nobody else gets to ever hit me though. I might sing and dance, but I don't play. So you're the only one. And forever I will treasure you and your brothers and the parts of my path that you helped me grow and change, because we're all growing and changing and learning together. So, Izzy Bear, Cassie Bear, I just wanted you to know that in the beginning, Dayton showed me that having a baby could be so much fun. Having your own child can be so much fun. I remember we went to Mackinac Island with you, Dayton, when you were just itty bitty. And we went to this awesome ranch where you got to sit on a buffalo, and we got to go on this cool hay ride where we got to go see all the animals. You just loved it. And you were the putt-putt king, because we went to this cool putt-putt place, and we took you to so many fun things on the beach. We rented this cool cabin where you got to jump up and down on the bed like a crazy monkey. I just pray that your childhood is filled with so much fun and beautiful memories of your aunt, and anyone for that matter, but especially from my part. I hope I did the best I could to love you when I had the chance. Because if we never see each other ever again, I want you to know how I feel about you. And Izzy, Cassie, all of the people in the world that God calls me to love, boys, girls, brothers, sisters, children of God. I love you unconditional, and my love is so pure and so gentle. I would never bring you harm. I would never hurt you on purpose. Hello? Can you hear me? I would never fire you on your last day of maternity leave, because I'm not a fucking douchebag. So, I love you all. Bless you. Even the douchebags deserve blessings. Okay? We all deserve unconditional love. It's not necessarily our fault we didn't grow and learn in a different way. So, Mama Bear loves, and remember, everywhere you go, in every moment, we have the opportunity to spread unconditional love and unconditional joy. Now, if you can't tell, my beautiful Izzy baby, you're awake and I gotta go get you out of your bed. And that's my favorite time to cuddle with you. So, I love you all. We are Love Alive, yo. And I wanna see your cute faces soon.